The state of Georgia declares drought emergency. Georgia, with water supplies rapidly shrinking during a drought of historic proportions, Governor Sonny Perdue declared a state of emergency Saturday for the northern third of the state of Georgia and asked the president to declare it a major disaster area. Georgia officials warned that Lake Lanier, a 38,000-acre reservoir that supplies more than 3 million residents with water, is less than 3 months from depletion. Smaller reservoirs are dropping even lower. Perdue asked the president to exempt Georgia from complying with federal regulations that dictate the amount of water released from Georgia's reservoirs to protect federally protected mussel species downstream. We need to cut through the tangle of unnecessary bureaucracy to manage our resources prudently, so that in the long term all species may have access to life-sustaining water, he said. On Friday, Perdue's office asked a federal judge to force the Army Corps of Engineers to curb the amount of water that drains from Georgia reservoirs into streams in Alabama and Florida. Georgia's Environmental Protection Director is drafting proposals for even more water restrictions. More than 1 billion gallons of water is released from Lanier every day. The Corps of Engineers bases its water releases on 2 requirements: the minimum flow needed for a coal-fired power plant in Florida, and mandates to protect 2 mussel species in a Florida river. White House Press Secretary Dana Perino said Perdue's request will be reviewed. In the meantime, we have already begun drafting interim rules to use procedures and flexibility to address the endangered species requirements, and the Army Corps has started the process of revising the operations manual for the river basin, Perino said. Georgia lawmakers say neighboring states also are exploiting the law as a tool to draw more water from Georgia's lakes. We've learned from this what a blunt weapon the Endangered Species Act has become, said State Representative John Linder. We need to understand this lake was created not for mussels, but for people. More than a quarter of the southeast is covered by an exceptional drought. The National Weather Service's worst drought category. The Atlanta area, with a population of 5 million, is right in the middle of the affected region, which encompasses most of Tennessee, Alabama, and the northern half of Georgia, as well as parts of North and South Carolina, Kentucky, and Virginia. Georgia was placed under statewide water restrictions. In April, it limited outdoor watering to 3 days a week. By May, Atlanta allowed watering only on weekends, and in September, environmental officials banned virtually all outdoor watering to the northern half of the state. It could take many months to replenish water supplies. Restaurants have been asked to serve water only at a customer's request. And the governor called on residents to take shorter showers. More limits will probably be needed, said Carol Couch, the state's environmental director. This is not something we can conserve our way out of, said Lieutenant Governor Casey Gagel. The state of emergency Perdue declared Saturday affects 85 Georgia counties, more than half of the state. The conditions were worsened by stifling summer heat and a much drier than normal hurricane season. State climatologist David Stooksbury said it will take months of above average rainfall to replenish the system, at least. The emergency declaration creates an emergency team that will oversee the state's response to drought. It also could free up some state money to respond to the drought.